So Cricket Love Stories with me, Neel Khagram. Today we're joined by Adam Rossington. Adam, how's things going?
Yeah, all good. Been a strange year, but battling through, all good really. Looking forward to getting back into some training and hopefully get back to a normal season next year.
Yeah, so you're Northants skipper. This is all about captaincy, this video. But before we dive into it, let's talk a little bit about your career. And I've got to give a little disclaimer here. Adam and I played for the same club side as kids and went to the same school. So I know a little bit about his life journey so far. But yeah, for those that don't know, talk us through it. How you got into the sport?
I suppose it started off at home really with my dad and my two brothers playing in the garden, and then like I say we joined Barnet. I think I was 5.
Barnet.
Barnet, that's it. Yep. There since I was about 5 years old. Gradually, obviously, went my way through the age groups. Played my first game for Middlesex under-9s when I was 6, and progressed through the ranks there onto the academy, and then onto the professional staff when I was 17. Was there on the staff there till I was sort of 21, then joined Northants on loan. I've been at Northants ever since.
Yeah, let's talk about your second team debut for Middlesex. Was it 161 on debut?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's it. It was on debut against Northants, actually, funnily enough, up at Wantage Road. So yeah, it was nice. 2009, yeah, that's it. So yeah, lovely start. And kicked on from there, really.
Yeah, so you made your first class debut the year after. You also got capped for England under-19. Talk us through the players that you played with and playing at that kind of level at that age.
I think what was it? I played. It was a 17, I think, when I played a few T20s then. So I think there was a few well-known players in the team. And then gradually went sort of as it got closer to my age group. I think it was Daniel Bell-Drummond, Ben Folkes, that sort of year really.
How was it playing with Ben Folkes? Obviously, you're a wicketkeeper yourself. In terms of competing against each other, how was he at that age and just that competitive instinct?
Yeah, he was a very good player. Like I say, we had a fair share of games each. Like I say, it was good. It's always good and nice to see how well he's doing at the minute.
And then talk us through the move from Middlesex to Northants. I know you went on loan initially before making it permanent. Was that just to get more time playing, or was there other reasons?
Yeah, there's a few reasons really. I was injured at the time, Middlesex, and then as I was coming back from injury, Northants had a few injuries themselves, so it worked out perfectly in that sense. Obviously, I wanted to play a bit more first team cricket. I joined them back in 2014 and had a good start. Managed to score a few runs. Ended up keeping in the 4-day format as well. And like I say, they wanted to make the move permanent there. I still had a year left on my contract at Middlesex, and they were very good to me in letting me go a year early, so I could go and play some more regular first team cricket.
And then yeah, talk us through that 2016 success to the T20 success. Talk us through it, winning it with Northants.
Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, it was a real standout year so far. I mean, we had a great team. It was sort of a team effort, really. Everyone putting their hands up all the way through, and like I say, for a small side, so to speak, to go through and win finals day was a real special feeling.
Well, has that been the standout day in your career so far?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then in terms of being made the skipper in 2019, do you see yourself as a natural leader? Is it a great honour to lead the county as well?
Yeah, definitely a great honour. I'd done it sort of growing up through age group cricket and had a bit of time in the Middlesex second team doing being captain. And like I say, it sort of came about when Alex Wakely had enough and stepped down, and sort of the performances fell quite nicely. Really, we got on a bit of a run in the 4-day format, and ended up winning a few games, and ultimately ended up in promotion. So yeah, it was a real nice start.
And then yeah, before we dive into the captaincy piece, just talk us through your ambitions moving forward. Do you have international aspirations, or is it just solely focused on Northants and what will be will be?
Oh, there's definitely international aspirations there. Obviously, at the minute, England's a very strong side, so it's a case of just going and putting the performances in for Northants as best I can and see what happens, really, and go from there.
Perfect, Adam. Can't wait to get into these tips you have for youngsters and aspiring skippers. Let's go.
I think for me, you're always looking to take the attacking option, whether that's with a ball in hand, whether it's having that extra catcher, extra slip fielder, and making sure that if you do find an edge, you've got your fielders there. And then with the bat in hand, I think you don't want to be reckless, but you're always taking the positive option. You've put the work in, and you're backing yourself to take your option and actually sort of dominate the bowlers and try and take the game away from players. I think some teams you can get on top of, and almost that's when you're on top. That's when you really need to drive that advantage home and almost get yourself out of sight, especially in 4-day cricket. I think for me, it's you want to try and install confidence in them. Obviously, backing their ability 100%, and like I say, I think that comes with it was that positive option, almost allowing people to play with freedom and be positive, have that extra catcher, play that attacking brand of cricket. I think that helps people get the best out of themselves rather than being tentative and being a bit negative. It's never easy dropping someone. I think again that sort of links in with the communication element. I think if you're upfront and honest with people and sort of say it how you see it, obviously they might have a different opinion, but as long as you're saying it how you see it and you've got your reasons for it and doing it at the right time and in the right environment, I think it's one of them where it's not a nice thing to do, but I think as long as it's done in the right way, people do understand it. And at the end of the day, if good teams do always have competition for places. I think that's a massive one as a captain. Like I say, you'll have your people you lean on for advice, but ultimately it comes down to that gut feel of who's the right person to bowl at this moment in time, and what's the right field at this moment in time, and what do we need to do? Do we need to declare to set a game up now, or whatever it may be? At the end of the day, you've got to go with your gut. Everyone being 100% honest with each other. I mean, you don't want people having a go at people about necessarily how they've got out, but it's a case of, again, at the right time, having these honest discussions about how, as individuals and as a collective group, we're going to get better and move forward and compete and try and win trophies. You don't really want to plateau, do you? You want to try and get better every year and find different ways. And I think that's the only way you find the different ways is by having these honest conversations and working out how, as individuals and a group, you are going to get better and more competitive. So I think obviously in the longer format, you've got that bit more time. Obviously, it happens at a slower pace, and you've got more time to have a chat with bowlers in between overs and things like that. Whereas I think, especially in the shorter formats, obviously things happen a bit quicker. You've got to get your overs in certain times, and I think that's where there's a real clarity and planning comes in almost before the game of plans for batsmen and how you're going to react. What's plan A? What's plan B? So you can actually make them decisions that little bit quicker, so you don't end up with run penalties and over rate penalties. For me, with the bat, I don't struggle with that at all, because I think it's, at the end of the day, your job is to score runs and take catches. That's your main job for me, especially once you're batting. It's out there. You can be the best captain in the world, but if you get no runs, you're not doing your job. With the keeping, that's where it can become a little bit tricky. Obviously, if you're thinking about who to bowl, what fields to have, and things like that, it's trying to find that little switch. Whether it be just as the bowler's running in, right, that's done. I'm concentrating. I've got to catch this ball, and then almost having that little period in between balls where you can have your thing, you can have your chat with whoever you need to have a chat with. But it's almost finding that routine which works for you. Of right, I need to do my job. My job for this ball now is being the wicket keeper, not captaining, and then it's go from there really.